This video is going to walk you through how to use SWIS in the drill down menu to define precise problem statements. Right now we're in SWIS and it just looks a little different because we're using the TIPS demo database where we have a different year range for our data. So typically you would open this up and you'd see all of your school's summary graphs. But for this one we have to change the years back to the 2011-2012. And if you've worked through some of the TIPS data problems in the demo database, then you're aware of that. So let's go ahead and we'll first look at our view reports, and I will change the years so that we can get a nice view of it. So again, this is what you typically would open up to and see your overview, your summary graphs. Now for this particular one, we're going to define a problem a little more closely. Let's take a look at the referrals by problem behavior. We're going to say in this instance that this school is already addressing the three most common problems: harassment, inappropriate language, and defiance. They already have another intervention solution plan in place for that. However, they're also very concerned about this one, physical aggression. So they want to define that a little more closely. So let's take a look at that. To do this, we can go into our drill down menu. So we first have to go back to our main database. Okay, so now we've clicked on the drill down button, and this is what typically would open up looking like. Now again, we know this is the database that doesn't have current data in it. We have our data from the year of 2011 to 2012. So I'm just going to go ahead right away. You'll see this include dates. I'm just going to get rid of that by clicking on the trash can. Now for this problem, let's suppose that we're getting ready for a meeting that's going to be held the first week in March. Let's just say March 1st. And we want to get a picture of the most current levels of physical aggression that have been reported. So we're going to look at that as maybe being the last 3 months time frame. So to do that, what we're going to do is go ahead and put in a date range. Right here, you can either double click or you can drag it right into this include in the data set. Anything we want to exclude, we can then drag over to exclude from data set. So let's go ahead and let's put the dates from December 1st, 2011 to the end of February in 2012. Put those dates right in. And again, you can also use the menu where you pull this down and hit generate. And this will just pull the most current data. Now again, we're in this instance very interested in the problem behavior of physical aggression. So I want to just filter out everything else. We're going to click on this drop down menu here for problem behavior, and we're going to scroll until we come across physical aggression. And again, I can double click or I can drag it and it will show up right there. Now once we've done this, you have to then hit generate, and your graphs down below in the drill down report will now reflect that time frame, so our most current snapshot of the physical aggression. Typically it always opens up to location, but that's good. Let's take a look at this. So we have our what as being physical aggression. When we look here, we can see our locations. We have the bus, the gym, playground, cafeteria, some common areas, classroom, and hallway. The hallway is less frequent. The classroom, we're getting a few instances, but we might want to pull out the first couple ones of these: the bus, the gym, the playground, the cafeteria, as for our where in our precise statement. We now also can take that menu here. Let's go ahead and see the who. Let's pull up our grade levels. Right away we can see second grade has the most incidents. We also have 5th and 6th grade, which have some high levels of physical aggressiveness. And then we also see in 1st grade. So now we have our who. Some students in 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 6th grade. Right over here we can see we're getting 24 referrals that we're looking at specifically across this 3-month time frame. Now let's go ahead. So now we have the who, we have the where. Let's take a look here next at the time of day. So when is this happening most frequently? Well, we already saw it was happening on the bus, so we're not too surprised to see at the end of the day and first thing in the morning when those get reported. We also see a spike right around 9:45 until about, 10:30ish, 10:45. We see another spike probably pretty much around the lunchtime period. So again, we can make note of these different times that we're seeing this. So I'd say from like 11:15 to 1:30 throughout there. And then we get the end of the day referrals. So there is our when. So we have our where, who, when, we have the what of physical aggression. We're left now with just trying to get our motivation. Click down here again, perceived motivation, and let's see. Looks like our students are mainly using these acts of physical aggression to obtain either peer attention, adult attention, or even an item. There's an incident also of avoiding some task, an unknown. So we can now put these as our why. So now we have a precise statement. The next step that we'd also want to do is to ask how frequently are these behaviors occurring? And we can go back up and get these in 1-month intervals. We already started with December 1st, so let's just get our December snapshot. So I'm just going to put in the date to cover the month of December, hit generate, and look down the bottom corner here. We have 5 referrals, so I'll make note of the 5. Now let's go up here, let's get, and again we can also go navigate through our window this way. We have 13, and then our last time frame from the 1st of February until the last. And you can see how we got that little warning there. And now there were 6. Now, we also know there was different amounts of days that the students were in school. So our next thing now is to go up, click on our school, click on the school settings. We're going to go down here to school days. Again, remember this is our database that we're working in the TIPS demo database. So we have to go back to this year. And here we go with our data. So we had 12 days of school in December, 19 in January, and 18 in February. And we'll go ahead and we'll write those down because now we can calculate out that we had about 0.42 of office discipline referrals for physical aggression in December. In January, it was 0.68. And then in February, we had 0.33 per day. So that's going to be important for us to include that as well. So now we can go back and we can write a precise statement, something along the lines of talking about our 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 6th graders. They're engaging in physical aggression on the AM and PM bus, in the gym, on the playground, in the cafeteria, possibly the hallway. Most of the time in the early morning times on the bus, or between 9:45 and 10:30, 11:15 to 1:30, that cafeteria time. And we saw that they were primarily doing this in order to gain attention, whether it was from adult or peers, or to obtain some item. Now we also have our rates of that was occurring across these past 3 months. So now we have a precise statement with the frequency of the behaviors, and we can now move on to look at our solution actions to put in place. And then one other nice step that we can do is we can also save this as a report template. We can click here. We can label this as maybe our physical aggression and save this. And next time when we come back, all we have to do is pull up this saved template and change our dates. So when we come back and we look at this before our April meeting, all we have to do is we'll pull this back up and change our dates through there. I hope this has been helpful for you as you work through defining precise problems.